Hi folks, new Cara here. A little story about transphobia, fascism, how we need to oppose fascism. And this has come up again because of Dave Chappelle and Dave Chappelle telling transphobic jokes or talking about transphobia. And transphobia is a component of fascism. You can't blame Dave Chappelle for being a victim of fascism. You can almost not blame Trump for being a victim of fascism. But fascism has taken them and used them and will chew them up and spit them out and cast them by the wayside. And Dave Chappelle's basically whining about the backlash of him making transphobic comments. Just like old Cara got canceled for being transphobic. She decided that was the hill she wanted to die on, to be transphobic and appeal to like Ben Shapiro and people like that and think that that was going to be her career. She was all over Google for weeks a few months ago. She was the top news story all the time, whatever was happening with her, whoever she was interviewing with, but not anymore. Career's over, done. You won't hear of her again. Just like Rose McGowan decided to turn traitor, go fascist, and support Larry Elder. Now, she might have been duped into it because she's a victim of abuse and is a traumatized person who people probably got to and kind of brainwashed her to do this. But Larry Elder's a Nazi. Larry Elder trained Stephen Miller, who plagiarized Nazi propaganda to write Trump's immigration policy. He's a Nazi. So all these Nazis will use whoever they can use. They used Colin Powell. They used him up and spat him out, and Trump was spitting on him just today. So it shows they have no respect for any person or even institution. They have no respect for the military. They have no respect for the police. They have no respect for the soldiers or the cops. They have no respect for any of this. All they care about is how those things can be used to protect white supremacy. Once we have a military that speaks out against white supremacy, as General Milley has thankfully done, we haven't rooted it out yet, but we've started. Or if Colin Powell had really taken to heart the evil that he did for Bush in starting the Iraq War and decided to help shut down the military entirely or repurpose it to green energy conversion rescue, that's what I see the future of the military being, he wouldn't be such a controversial or semi-hated figure. Really hated by everyone because the Trump side has taken Trump's view to express hate for him, really because they're racist and because he was black, and they can't wait to get that out of their system. But, they'll do the same to anybody. They'll use you up and spit you out and not help you. No one's helping Rudy Giuliani right now, just like no one's going to help Trump when it finally comes around to getting him, or no one's going to help Steve Bannon. Although maybe, I'm hoping the FBI is going to pull Steve Bannon out of that Russian oligarch's house because they're raiding a Russian oligarch's house right now. We do need some sort of justice, but just justice, not justice that's just for them, not justice that's justice to protect white supremacy, because that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of accountability, of transparency, of free speech. They're afraid of people talking about what's going on. They're afraid of people even knowing how many people the police kill. Joe Biden hasn't been doing enough to show appreciation for Black Lives Matter being what got him elected. They were letting the guy who shot Jacob Blake off. They're not pressing charges on him. No, this isn't what we voted for. This isn't what we want. We're going to go for Bernie 2024, AOC 2028, by the way. Is one way to make this happen. But let them know we're doing that now. Let them know we want Biden's endorsement for Bernie next time around. Because go ahead and take the heat for all sorts of things like pack the court. Let's go ahead and make some changes that Biden can take the heat for. He's taking the heat for giving us the vaccine. Oh no, you saved miserable Trumpers' lives. And taking the heat for leaving Afghanistan. Well, we can end war entirely. We can shift all those resources over to good things, as I was saying before. We can team up with China on this. But we need to go fully against everything Trump was doing, which means scrutinize the police, which means cancel these racist policies, immigration policies, trade policies that are just racist. That's all they are. That's why Trump put them in place. So don't keep them in place, because keeping them in place would also be just racist. But we've got this transphobia coming out from Dave Chappelle and him whining about cancel culture. Now, these are just the consequences for people not liking you. I was going to say in a previous video that this is about popularity versus people liking you, but I think I'll save that for the next video and just focus on that. Like Colin Powell, like Herman Cain, you get used up, cast off, spit out like Cara. So listen to the new Cara. There's community and goodness in being on everyone's side together.